audio cable isn't going
Okay,
across
now they can hear me, right? Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's stop all the bad language, right? They can hear me now? I think they can. We'll just have to wait for the stream to catch up.
I was going to say, I'm listening on my phone, but I'm not getting anything yet.
This is a nightmare. That's all right. Hey, it's live, you know.
There it is.
It happens.
It's on.
We're doing it? All right.
Yep.
Let's restart the show! Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and lovers of drones everywhere, welcome to the result of another Windows update. You mother f***ers. I hate you so much. Get the kids out of the room. Ooh, I need to breathe. Zen. Zen.
Now they can hear me.
All right, what?
Right?
Is that my...
1, 2, 3. Let's stop all
Am
the
I
bad
streaming
language.
my... Yes, I am.
They can hear me
Oh,
now?
there we go. That's good. All right. So what I was saying was, thank you, Mark H. and everybody, Ken Turbeck, for the super chats. It's really the only thing that'll calm me down. This is super. Jake, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here.
Yes. What I was saying before, but you couldn't hear me, was that there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background, and you will find out about what has been going on in the background momentarily. But Jake, what have you been up to? Beautiful studio, by the way.
Thank you. I have been up to building this, which has taken me quite a bit of time.
Uh-huh.
I've been out trying to film and capture the aurora using the Mavic 3, which I did finally. Took me 3.5 months to finally make it happen.
Okay.
I've been out hiking. I got to go. The coolest thing I got to do was hike across a frozen Lake 2 glacier, you know, like I do a lot.
Yeah.
And film an Olympic figure skater on the ice with the FPV drone, which was absolutely a blast.
Oh, wow.
I have none of that video on my channel yet. Unless you're a member of my channel, then you can see it because it's behind the scenes. But yeah, that was awesome. It was unbelievably cool.
Man, and I see the
also,
super chats.
Watching him do
Thank you.
backflip after backflip after backflip on ice skates and making it look like it was super easy kind of ticked me off because it shouldn't look that easy. And I know it's not, but it just...
Well, I can tell you...
Like, do it again, and he'd do another backflip, and he'd be like, can you do one more? And he'd just do it again. It was like... And then it was a kind of a thing of like, how many of these can he do in a row? Do one more.
Yeah. Yeah, they're impressive. I drove a Zamboni for the Philadelphia Skating Club. There was a lot of Olympians practicing there, and boy, they wanted their ice a certain way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a long time ago. We're wasting time because we have to get into it. Tonight on the show, Ryan LaTourette. He is going to update us on all the legal stuff going on in the drone world tonight. Some of it good, some of it worse than bad. But it's stuff that we can help out with as he is out there in our corner fighting for us. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, the sponsor that keeps the sound on, I'm talking about Pigeon Jerky.
You'll enjoy
good God.
Pigeon jerky, the Cadillac of processed
Thank God somebody's sponsoring this stream.
You'll enjoy pigeon jerky.
Yeah.
Pigeon jerky, and you'll give your family a treat. It's balanced nutrition to help them grow.
Yeah.
And it's full of fiber to make them go.
Here we go.
You'll enjoy pigeon jerky.
Pigeon Jerky, the Cadillac of processed meats. Yes, thank you, Pigeon Jerky. A fine sponsor since 1960s. All right. I'm going to try to make this a quick show tonight. What I was talking about when you couldn't hear me was I'm leaving for Florida. It is a 15-hour drive. Current temperature in Alaska, sir?
32, 33-ish. So we're looking forward to start thawing out here in the next, month and a half, 2 months.
So it's right at freezing. So shorts weather there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I almost got sunburned the other day.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's not dilly-dally any longer. Let's go ahead and get right into the news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Let's head over into the drone newsosphere with our good buddy, Jeff Sills. What's happening, Jeff? Jeff?
He looks more pale than normal.
He really does.
Hello?
What's Oh,
what?
My goodness! Oh, who is that?
Hello? How did I get here?
Is that our favorite bridge person? Is that Sean Geekspana?
Let me just stroke this beard behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff.
Here's what happened.
Oh, Jeff.
Poor Jeff. You know, I can depend on a lot of things. I can depend on getting gas when I eat a cheeseburger. I can depend on gravity, and I can depend on Jeff Stills. Well, tonight, just before the show started, he had a health problem. I don't want to go into the details or anything. It's not, anything life-threatening, but it's put him out and he can't talk. And so I was like, what am I going to do? And so I thought, hey, you know what? It's almost 1 a.m. in London. Why don't I give Sean a call? Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean, for filling in.
No problem at
all right, so we're going to do the news early.
What do they call those? A pitch hitter, when you bring in somebody that can just like drop in and land it right in a second with no notice and no practice?
Make it something that Sean can understand. What's a pitch hitter called in cricket?
I'm just trying to work out if that's a compliment or not.
I think it is. Baseball's like cricket. Really?
It's like a one-take wonder in a recording studio. Somebody who basically you bring them in, they're going to just nail the one take, and then they're going to walk out of the studio and get paid their millions of dollars.
We didn't need to do any rehearsal. And now...
I get paid?
Oh, yeah.
You got paid.
You get a portion of the super chats, so keep them coming in.
We actually have had a lot of super chats come in because everybody felt bad for us not having any audio in the beginning.
Oh, my God. Well, if that brings the super chats in, then... All right. What's going on in the news there? Sean, who's sitting on Jeff's lap.
Well, sorry, just going to get comfy here a second. Yeah. Oh, Jeff, could you move left? No? Okay,
Jeff is like a human bean bag.
What's that in Jeff's pocket?
Oh, dear.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so first up, we have, I believe we have some video from over here in the UK, actually. We're taking over the news in Teesside, which is amazing drone. Oh, no, we're talking about the Integras first.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's all right.
Okay, well, DJI decided to drop a bit of a soft release. We all knew it was coming, but here they are, the DJI goggles Integra. The Integra part, obviously, denouncing the fact that you now have a built-in battery with the strap coming around the side, etc. Essentially, these goggles are making the whole sort of Avata thing a little bit more consumer, a little bit less FPV light type of thing, in my opinion, so that it's a bit more manageable, basically. So you don't have to have 4 wires coming off your head and a battery in your pocket and your phone here and etc. etc. Now, they do have apparently GPS inside there, so again, you shouldn't actually have to have your phone attached to be able to comply with the remote ID that everybody loves so much. Right. So maybe that means they've also sorted out updates that will stop screwing with the Avatar as well. With
and
the remote
here's
ID.
how much it is. It's less than the goggles 2. So these aren't the goggles 3, right? It's the Integra.
Yeah, no, these I think, a while ago, I think we were calling this potential release the goggles light. I think most people were calling it, and obviously they've called it the Integra because it has the whole strap and battery built into the box at the back and that type of thing. And I think it's it's an interesting one. It's obviously designed to be packaged with the Avata, etc. And I think that's the main marketplace for it. I do not think hardcore FPVers like Jake Sloan, the cool FPVers like Jake Sloan, are rushing out to buy this. But I think in the right place, it's a simple way. If you're going to buy an Avata, you're going to buy these goggles in the bundle with the new Motion 2 controller, which has a little bit more control on the
right. You can go backwards, I think.
On the dildo, yeah. You can now reverse up on that dildo.
Yep.
Which is handy.
It's very...
I think it's good to see another DJI product release, and it shows that they're very much committed to the FPV market, albeit obviously with this product very much the consumer side of it.
Yeah. And it got rid of the touch screen, which was, really frustrating when you put the goggles on someone else and they're like, oh, this is cool, and they touch something, they stop the recording or whatever, so it's back to the joystick. It's a little cheaper, and it has that handy dandy RF transmitter right in the back there, so that it fries your brain a little bit in the back rather than just the front. You want to even your brain cooking out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of like Swiss cheese rather than just the sort of frontal temporal lobe that gets obliterated.
Right. Exactly. You'll lose your memory of 3rd through 7th grade, but it's worth it for that OLED.
Yeah, exactly. For that silky smooth advantage.
Oh, yeah. What's next?
Okay, next we are going to the UK, and it's Teesside, and we've got some. What I'm told, what Jeff reliably informs me, is amazing drone footage capturing the moment of the last of the iconic red car blast furnaces are actually demolished.
Oh yes, this is pretty cool. This is a static view from a drone.
Yep. These are 4 large stoves, and they're all left to be brought down in the northeast's iconic steelwork.
Now this is a great shot. This is an FPV shot of this. Fun. I have yet to be invited to a demolition, but I would love to do it. Wow.
That'd be cool.
That is so cool.
Fire now.
Oh, we just love explosions, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Explosions.
Yeah.
Explosions.
We love explosions. What's next?
Next, we have some slightly more serious drone footage. Now, one of the things that drones has obviously been helping out an awful lot with over the last couple of years is really bringing home and bringing to light what's happening in terms of natural disasters. And here we've actually got drone video which shows a 119-year-old tabernacle which was destroyed by the recent Texas tornado. Now, 5 people were injured in Parker County storms on Friday, so our wishes go out to the people affected and their families. But obviously, this is another fine example of actually getting the drone up in these areas can help assess things so quickly.
Absolutely, yeah. Drones are good even when things are bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot I was reading the news then.
Oh, that's okay.
Now, who doesn't like a good fight with Netflix? We've all been getting a little bit upset about the fact that they're going to be stopping password sharing and that type of thing. So we're all feeling a little bit with Netflix, perhaps, for those who are sharing passwords. But actually, there's actually a privacy case that's actually started happening here, which is a family is suing Netflix for using images of their house that were allegedly taken by a drone in an advertisement for a reality television show. So Mr. Dino, his partner and 2 children have filed a lawsuit against Netflix for using imagery of their family home in Hollywood Hills, Los Angeles, in a 2022 advertisement for buying Beverly Hills.
Wow.
That was my best Beverly Hills Netflix voiceover.
That's pretty good, man.
That was really good.
They're going to call
it.
That was
for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. I worked on that for weeks. The suit contends that the ad features a photo of the family's home from a vantage point that could be only obtained with a drone. According to Dino and his family, the angle of the alleged drone image used in the Buying Beverly Hills ad shows the interior and exterior of their home. So they feel like it is constant harassment by tourists and real estate agents has been caused by the fact that it's their house, sort of, because it's the same as, of course, when you go back to the original seasons of the Kardashians and things, the external shots aren't actually the house. And the house that was the real house that was the external shots was a rental. They paid rent. It was a rental house that they paid to use the image of, and that house still gets. I think it's actually just been knocked down actually, but that house was besetted by tourists. So I can understand that might be a thing. But has anybody really heard of Buying Beverly Hills enough to want to go and find the house from the trailer?
Yeah, well, people do. People are crazy like that. But
maybe that's where Jeff's gone.
That's where he went.
He read that story and he thought, I've got to go.
Is peeping in your window with a drone illegal though? I mean, it's just yes. Well, I mean, if you get right up to it, but if you're off their property and you're just filming the house and they happen to have huge ass windows,
if you are directing your camera towards the house, And if you're flying past someone's house, then I would say on a privacy issue, yeah, you're fine. But actually, if you are directing your camera towards it, recording it, then selling that image to a television company who then put it in their advertisement, I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah,
I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Especially if it does show the internals. But of course, I don't know any of the details beyond that, as I am the standard news guy tonight.
Yeah, I would feel a little violated if that was my house,
Jeff,
I guess.
Sorry, 1 second. Jeff, could you breathe? Could you just breathe the other way, please?
Yeah,
thank you.
He's fogging up the back of your head.
On my neck a little bit, yeah. My glasses.
Too, it's awfully rude. He hasn't offered to share his drink with you yet.
Oh yeah, what is it? He's got that red cup down there. Can you show it real quick, Sean? Let's see. What? Oh yeah, got to share that.
Yep, he's on the sauce.
On the sauce. And now I think we have a story about a NASA thing.
We do, yes, and this is something which has been in development for a very long time, and the Saturn moon Titan. They're hoping that there could be clues up there to life's origin, and there's actually a NASA drone called Dragonfly. Now, this is a very early concept that you're seeing on screen here. They're not going to send this one to the Saturn moon or Titan, but it's going to be one of NASA's most diversity-capable planetary exploration aircraft. The fourth in a line of groundbreaking NASA missions that could redefine how we understand life in the universe, which is set to launch in 2027. Now, they've really have, in terms of evolving how drones might work, they really have thought out of the box on this one. An early concept 2 or 3 years ago was actually nuclear powered. That was one of the things, which I just thought, imagine sending a nuclear reactor on a drone to another planet or rather, a moon.
Yeah.
I just feel like that might be a little bit irresponsible.
Yeah, right.
You really don't want those,
Right, the developing life on there.
It'll be fine.
We're going to have we're going to radiate the amoeba that will eventually be our overlords.
3,000 years, they'll be our overlords, basically. But it is an exciting mission. They have been planning this for several years. 2027 is the hoped launch for it, and obviously it will take some time to get up there as well. And it's going to be outfitted with a full suite of scientific instruments. This was actually being planned before the Mars helicopter was sort of even in its sort of so this one's been on the drawing board for a long time.
Cool.
But it won't look like that. That's a very basic test bed for some of the things they're setting up, basically.
Yeah. But I like that they're doing that.
Yeah.
Drones in space.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. What's next, sir?
We are heading across something that's closer to me than you guys, actually, across to Ukraine, and we're looking at the fact that obviously we're seeing a lot of drones being used in that particular conflict at the moment. Are we allowed to call it a conflict, Mr. Putin? I can't remember. And from hunter-killer craft, stalking tanks with missiles to cheap Mavic 3s dropping grenades on people, we've seen a lot of it. But actually, there's one type of drone, there's one type of construction material that we've all been missing out on, and now these innovative people have brought us the cardboard drone.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty disposable.
Yeah, I mean, it's cheap.
Yeah,
Ken, it's not going to work. I mean,
why not? I mean, they've been blowing up a lot of carbon over there.
Is it rubber band powered like the old wind-up airplanes?
Why wouldn't it work? Why not? I mean, unless it rains.
There's obviously a perception. There's perhaps a perception that Ukraine and that whole sort of conflict area will obviously buy anything drone related because of how much success they're having with it. But this one will be able to carry payloads of up to 3 kilograms, that's 7 pounds, and 5 kilograms, 11 pounds, depending on the model. Basically how big it is, I suppose. They can fly out to 75 miles, though not built from durable metal or plastic. The drones they've managed to make 60 flights in Ukraine. The cardboard is wax coated to enable flights in wet weather.
Oh, that's cool. And I'm being told by my producer that doesn't exist that they are making them out of old Amazon boxes.
Nice.
So that's nice. Yeah, there's plenty of that material around.
You'd love to see it fly past with Amazon.
They're going to have a fleet of thousands.
Yeah, thousands of them. That would be funny if they did that. And like the Ukraine bombs that are being sent have like a little like a little Amazon.
Have the Amazon smile on there.
Yeah, and like little advertisements for like Hannah Montana or whatever on it. Yeah. That's your ass, Russia. No. What's next, Sean?
Thank you for that. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the Dodgers. And yeah, they added a post-game drone show on select Fridays this season, which is it's exciting. So baseball is back, and the Dodgers are set to return with a new form of post-game entertainment for fans to enjoy after games on Friday nights at Dodger Stadium. Adding to their traditional Friday night fireworks promotion from years past, the Dodgers will now host a drone light show for the first time, titled the Dodger Stadium Friday Night Light Shows.
That's pretty
Dodger Stadium Friday Night Light. That's really on the nose.
Pretty ingenious. Yeah, they took a couple focus groups to come up with that, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was a high-paid advertising agency there.
Somewhere a marketing agency is submitting their invoice without any kind of irony whatsoever.
With many zeros on the end of whatever that number is.
I've just said it out loud, and I can't remember what it is now.
Right, it's so memorable.
I scrolled past that piece of text, and I couldn't.
It's ingrained in there, yeah.
So it was actually starting on Friday with their game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Dodgers will have a live drone show after the game. So yeah, it's exciting. There's going to be on June 16th, July 7th, September 22nd are the others that you can enjoy them. And the Dodgers will have a themed fireworks shows after other select games on Friday this season as well. So
have you ever been to a baseball game?
No.
I haven't been to a football game.
Soccer.
Can you do the next story in your American accent?
Okay, yeah, I can try to do that if it doesn't go too Australian, because it is 1:30 a.m. here in the U of the K.
U of the K, yes. Okay. All right.
Okay. So Airbus are looking to achieve in-flight autonomous guidance and control of a drone from a tanker aircraft. Airbus Defence and Space and the company's wholly owned subsidiary, Airbus Up Next.
Okay, stop with this. Just to go back to your regular accent, because it does lend gravitas to the stories, your English accent.
You'd like me to go back to my regular accent, would you?
Yeah, that one, governor. Do that one there.
Have you told everybody that I'm actually from Tipperary, though? I don't know if they... I'm going to stop before it turns Indian. Okay, so yes, Airbus Up Next, which again is another innovative branding name, frankly. They've achieved in-flight autonomous guidance and control of a drone using an A310 MRTT. In a first step towards autonomous formation flight and autonomous air-to-air refueling, the technologies demonstrate a significant breakthrough for future aerial operations involving manned and unmanned assets. So essentially, they're looking to be able to formation fly, but also refuel these things, or not autonomously, because there's still somebody on the A310 tanker doing it. But yeah, it's cool.
It is cool, and it can develop into other things. I'm sure they're just testing things out now.
Yeah. I'm sure it definitely isn't a bunch of Air Force guys saying what cool SHIT can we do with this drone this weekend, and then someone says, I wonder if you can control it from the fuel tank, and another one, nah, you can't do that. And then, I bet I can. Yeah,
you owe me a beer. We did it.
Yeah. The sneaky feeling that might be it.
Yeah.
Okay, and up next we have yet another drone in a box, which is actually, this one in particular is looking to exploit the fact that with solar power, it's going to be a very affordable way for thousandths of a cent per kilowatt hour, basically. So Raptor Maps, they're developing a drone and software package for ongoing on-site visual and thermal intelligence at utility scale solar facilities.
Wow, that's a lot. By the way, I just got a text from our ailing Jeff Sills, who is watching. He did point out that you did say drone in a box, and whenever we say drone in a box, we have to hit the song. So enjoy.
Yeah, we've been together such a long time.
Such a long time.
And now I'm ready to show you how to fly. Wow. It's sunny, so we both should go outside.
Go outside.
Gonna give that will get us both real high.
Really high.
A gift real special. It'll knock you off your socks. Take a look inside.
Open it, girl.
It's my drone in a box. Drone in a box, baby. Yeah. It's my drone in a box. Not gonna get you a pair of Spanx. That sort of gift won't get me thanks. Not gonna get you a bowl of rags. You must think that I'm some kind of spaz. Not gonna get you a single rose. Nah, girl, this thing won't decompose. Wanna get you something that sounds like bees. It's my drone in a box.
Wow.
Good times to be had by all. Yep, that was my gaffer's tape beard. The ladies love it.
Did Jason Shepard do the background vocals for you on that? I
Of
didn't know he had
course.
such a deep baritone.
Of course,
sound.
yes, of course. By the way, Sean, as it is 1:30 a.m. in London right now, where you are, do you have an extra minute or two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you want to stick around and talk about something that I'm sure was sent to all of us drone people? I know my inbox was filled with it.
Look, no. I am not going to comment on the naked pictures. Okay.
No. Those were private.
Okay,
I'm talking about the invention that's going to change everything from Mark Rober, and that is the zipline delivery drone. Everybody sent that to me. Did you get a lot of people? Hey, Sean, check this out. Yeah. What about you, Jake? Did you get a lot? Yeah. Oh, no, this would be great. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But did you also have that annoying part of it that everyone in your life that knows that you know about drones, but they're not in drones, they watched the video, believed everything, thought it's wonderful, and sent it to you, or said, "Oh yeah, that Mark Rober knows his stuff."
Yeah, well, yeah, my mom sent it to me too. But that's what we're going to talk about. Let me
Your
just
mum
play
knows
the
drones.
Yeah, let me play if you don't know what we're talking about. Here's
I
what
cut my finger making lunch, so I placed an order for some Band-Aids a couple minutes ago, and now they're 4 seconds away.
Nope. So there's a lot of reasons why nope. And I will have opinions from XJet here in just a second. I know he's in the chat, XJet. But so before I say anything, Sean, your thoughts on that?
I think that it was a very nice fluff video. Honestly, I think it's good because a lot of people see drones in a positive sense from that particular video.
Yeah.
But in that iteration, that drone is not going to be delivering to people's houses en masse. We are 10 generations of evolution in terms of models to come. It's a nice step forward, but no.
No, and I think that probably
now you don't have the package that it lets go on the end of the string. You've got an entire drone that it needs to recover from your garden. So if you thought people were already going to screw with these drones and pull on these strings, and I know they can detach them and things, but
right.
How are you going to get your little drone back now?
Right, they haven't even considered cats. What about the feral cats that see this thing coming down? But I think, and
nice impression.
You can't blame him. Yeah, thank you. You can't blame him. I think Mark Rober probably had a yacht payment that he needed to make.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Jake, your thoughts?
I think, like many things in this world, there are a lot of people who are like, this is a great idea. We're going to make it happen. And there's nobody in that room that's going, well, but what about all the dogs in the neighborhood? Or what about the fact that somebody opens their door just as the drone is coming down? Or there's so many things.
Not to mention the fact that the thing landing is fake.
You can almost see the little strings.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me, where is it? Here it is. Yeah, you can almost see the little string. That one. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so I'll zoom in on it. So you can see. There's no shadow. See the shadow on the door? The shadow on the door needs to go down on the porch. No shadow on the door. Go down the porch.
Is that because it's not a real porch and the porch is actually set forward?
Probably.
There's a gap. So it is a real drone. I don't think it's been dropped from a drone, but I think they are bringing it down. But I think it was spinning around too much and was hitting the door. So they pulled the porch away from the door. So it is fake, but perhaps in a slightly different way.
Maybe. Anyway,
I don't see
that
any
thing
drone
was not attached to a drone.
Yeah, and I don't see any drone that performs that way. Like it literally goes and right back. It's like robotic, and there's no like, it takes a minute for propellers to spin up and then for the drone to actually start lifting up. There's a moment where it has to gain some, speed as it goes up.
Yeah, it's on the string, and obviously the string is supposed to be, bringing it back. So that little thing in the bottom then goes inside a massive drone in the sky.
Yeah.
And so, and the little propeller at the back is supposed to just keep it but it's just going to keep it going round and round in circles.
It's easy for us in the drone community to poo-poo this. But like you said, Sean,
poo-poo.
Poo-poo. Isn't that a British word?
Poo-poo.
Poo, P-O-P-O, poo-poo.
Or
that's popo. That's you're right. You're right. That's something different.
You need two O's.
Two O's. Yeah.
Poo-poo.
But it's good that drones in a positive light like this is, albeit fake, is getting out into the, beyond our little bubble, which is what we have to do.
It would just be nice if they knew like real things, like not to be suspicious of the FPV flyer in the park and things, and the guy with the Mavic flying over your house isn't trying to take pictures of Tammy Jean in a 9-piece, etc. It would be nice from that point of view.
That's right.
If we had some good sort of more drone sort of image out there, positive drone image.
Absolutely.
But I'll take it from where I can get it, and however millions of views he's had, then it's good news.
Sure. I might do the same thing if I was in his position. But who has an opinion on this?
I reckon Bruce might have something to say about this.
Bruce! He does, XJet. I've taken just a few excerpts from his lengthy video. There's a link in the description, and it's very well said. It's a very well done video. But here's just a few clips and his opinion on this zipline delivery drone.
This is what the zipline claim is their big claim to fame. It's this little cat cage they've got here, which hangs down on a string from the drone. That provides a number of benefits, apparently. First of all, it means the drone can hover at quite an altitude, which means it's going to be quieter, and there's not going to be a risk of people running out into the propellers and hurting themselves. Because you'll notice this has propellers on it. It has a big fan at the back. It has some side fans. That is designed to give it pinpoint accuracy on landing. It can maneuver itself separate to the drone so as to make sure it's landing in an unobstructed area. These fans will make a noise, but they won't make too much noise. It's just a clever way around the whole problem of having a weight hanging on the end of a line in a strong wind, and it's going to act like a pendulum. Google Wing probably has a degree of this problem, and this is the way Zipline have chosen to get around it. But however, it's quite important, this cage in itself will weigh quite a bit. It's got motors, it's got a battery, because I don't think the power's coming down that cord. It's got the weight of the cord, which is quite significant, as we'll see later in the video. And it's going to be an extra payload, which either reduces the amount of payload you can carry, or it reduces your range and endurance as an aircraft. So it's added complexity. It's the more you have, the more you have to go wrong. So this may look cool, but from a purely engineering perspective, I don't know that it is a solution that will withstand the test of time and the test of, is it worth the extra complexity?
Yeah. He makes a good point there. Want to hear some more points from Bruce?
Why has nobody made any Thunderbird theme memes about this yet? Because obviously it's like there's actually isn't there that green Thunderbird that drops the yellow thing out of the set? But that's basically what this is just a marketing company going, okay, we've got to think of a new drone delivery system thingy, I don't know, and Thunderbirds.
Yeah,
that was cool when I was a kid.
But you know what is clever is everybody knows what drones look like, and some people are intimidated by them. And the big thing, you don't want that big octocopter or whatever is at the top coming down. It's noisy. You want this just little cartoony thing coming down. Oh, look at that. That can't hurt anybody. Look at that little thing.
They need to put some eyes on it with big eyebrows and a smile like they do in Japan, and then everything will be great.
Yeah, make everything like they do there. Here's more from Bruce.
The main drone can stay 400 feet up in...
Now, I find this difficult. And again, he's not dealing so much with facts as hype and hysteria here. I've lost a little respect for Mark in this video, because you will not be delivering a package from 400 feet in the air. The amount of cord, the weight and the volume of the cord required to drop that cat cage from 400 feet would again severely compromise the range and endurance and payload capacity of the drone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a 400-foot cable.
Yeah. Right.
Well, that, but then the drone's going to be sitting there hovering for 20 minutes while it lowers it down and then brings it back up, because 400 feet is a long way. Not even talking about the weight of the cable, like that's just a massive distance that you've got to.
The weather is different up there.
Yeah, the winds are way different
up there. UAV forecast when we're checking out the gusts and everything else.
Yeah.
This thing's going to be going like this, but as a pendulum by the time it comes down to Earth.
We're not thinking out of the box though. What if the cable is the battery?
Whoa.
Yeah. Now
it's graphene.
It's not.
It's not. No, it's not.
What is that miracle substance they were talking about? It's graphene.
Oh yeah. The next generation. Now
sorry. Jeff likes delivery drones. He said we're picking on them too much.
Oh, Jeff, stop kicking
Jeff,
Sean.
Calm down.
Now, one more thing in here where was the cool propellers. Do you see the propellers on this thing? They're special, super
the
quiet.
Propellers that they only showed in one angle towards the wind and it wouldn't have much sort of yaw capability. And I did see those phenomenal propellers.
Bruce had an opinion on those as well.
Yeah, they've got these fancy props here. Look at that, sort of a three-bladed prop where one is more or less a counterbalance and the other two are providing the lift. Making a big deal out of it. Now, if you're 400 feet in the sky, even with regular props, you couldn't hear it. You can't hear a drone that's 400 feet in the sky with regular props. So either these props don't reduce the noise, or Mark, as I say, was telling pork pies about dropping the line from 400 feet. This doesn't lend any credibility to the claims that are being made here.
No,
Why did those legs look like off of like garden furniture or something?
I don't know.
They look like the legs off of a really bad 1960s foldable deck chair.
It probably is. It's all 3D printed. Anyway, so that's not going to happen. But I hope Mark Rober gets his check. So anyway, Sean, it is fast approaching 2 a.m. there. We're going to let you go. But thank you so very much, sincerely, for popping in at the last possible moment and filling in for our buddy.
Yes,
who's
I am
ailing
literally
right
sat in my bedroom right now. So yes, no problem at all, sir.
Have a good evening, my friend.
Thanks for stopping by.
Bye-bye.
Now get out.
He's a peach. He's a peach, that guy.
He is.
Man. All right. Do you have a joke for us, Jake? Jake joke?
Like a dad joke?
Like any kind of joke. You know the format.
How about this one? This graveyard looks overcrowded. People are probably dying to get in.
Hey! All right. That sounds like a Snapple Cap joke.
That might have been.
Safe for the whole family.
That's right.
Everybody who has super chatted, pity super chatted me when things were going wrong earlier, thank you so very much. I'm going to mention everybody here in mere moments. But we've got Ryan LaTourette, who is literally fighting for our hobby on a daily basis. He's coming up. He's got some interesting news about what's been going on. But I wanted to head into the mailbag very quickly.
Captain, incoming message.
Mail call. Gather around, everyone. There's a letter in your mailbox. Time for mail call.
All right. And man, the mailbag is filled this week. It's going to take a while to get through it. Okay. One person sent me a postcard. But that one person is named Ken, number 3. He said, found this postcard while cleaning out my office. It's the original Ferris wheel in Chicago from 1893.
Yeah.
If you remember, I did a video of me flying around a Ferris wheel. And I guess that's what inspired this. And thank you very much, Ken. If you,
I was gonna say, did you fly around that Ferris wheel in 1893?
Wouldn't that be awesome? No, I'd be burned for witchcraft or whatever. Yeah. But I think this one actually did burn down. It was mostly made of wood. It's gone forever. But if you want to send me a postcard or anything, you can send it here. Ken Heron, Box 1281, Huntington, Tennessee 38344. If you want to send in a video to be shared on this, you got 2 weeks from right now to get it in. Ken Heron Upload at gmail.com. Let me know what your music is, because YouTube gets all bent out of shape if you use the wrong music. And if you want to use the right music, of course, it's Epidemic Sound. There's a free trial link in the description for 30 days, and everything else is a crap. So I'm endeavoring to make this show a little bit shorter than usual because I have to get some sleepy sleep, and then I got a 15-hour drive. The cop car, I was going to bring the cop car because it's the drone mobile to Florida, the meetup, but it needs a new rack and pinion steering in it. So it's in the shop. So I have to drive the cool Mazda, but it's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive. Wow. Yeah.
But doesn't that make your 15-hour drive turn more like into a 10-hour drive?
It does, and it's more fun, but I get literally, I think, 12 miles a gallon. So all of these super chats are so important right now. Okay? All right, let me go through them. I want to thank everybody very, very much for supporting this channel and this stream each and every week. Thank you so much. All of my Robs. Drone Rob, thank you so much. He sent $21.38. Thanks, buddy. He says, looking forward to an elect sizzle show tonight. And Dyna Drone, $5. He says, hey, here we go, Ken and Jake. And the first 3 minutes were silent. We had a moment of silence for some reason. Thank you so much. Have Drones Will Fly. They've been a member for 16 months. That's a long time. If you see the little heron birds, the red ones, you've been a member for quite some time. If you want one of those heron birds and access to all of the exclusive membership content, well, then you can become a member. You can also gift memberships. I like to see that. So far tonight, 0 new members. I guess everybody's at spring break, but that's cool. Ken Torbeck, $2. Thank you, Ken. And God said, let there be sound. Yes, thank you. Okay, here come all the super chats that happened after the sound got back on. Yellow Rose Drones, been a member for 22 months. Thank you very much. The silence is deafening. See you this weekend. South Florida Drone Meetup. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm going to be super tired, but I'm looking forward to meeting everybody in 82-degree weather. Mark H, $10. Your sound is back. Thank you very much for that, Mark. We really appreciate it. That's why we have to do this. Everything good, Jake? Jake, nothing happened?
Everything.
Okay.
No, everything's good.
All right. Colezilla, been a member for 19 months. Yeah, he says. Thank you. Fisher's Aerial Photography, $20. Thanks. And we got a little, we got a little cartoon guy. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Tim Rahan has been a member for 22 months. Yay, sound now, he says. $4.99 from Colezilla. No comment, just $4.99. Thank you. And Jack Weiser, $20 from Jack. Thank you so much. Jack is always very generous to this channel and to the stream, and I very much, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the hell out of that. Arco Drone Solutions, $5. Can you hear me now? He says, yes. You ought to check out Art's channel. He's got some really cool things happening. He really recently got one of his drone videos featured on the local news. So that was cool. Droner Boner, cool. Which is just a cool username. Thank you, Droner Boner. $2 from Droner Boner. Here's a couple bucks to pay your sound guy. Yeah, my sound guy. You're fired. Like he can't hear me because my sound guy's deaf, apparently. Philip Koshat, $5. Thank you very much, Philip. Here's a $5 for a 1/4-inch jack. Now plug it in and you have sound. Watching the show from Dothan, Alabama tonight. Here's a special message for you in Dothan from Jake. Jake?
In what? In Dothan?
Dothan, Alabama. Special message.
I thought you were talking about some weird language that I'd never heard of before.
Well, but they do speak a unique language in Alabama. I believe they call it English. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to get by when I'm there.
Uh-huh. What would you like to say to Philip? He's a big fan of yours.
I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for being a fan.
Yeah.
Thank you for being encouraging.
Yes.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, thanks for hanging out with us.
Awesome. Jake, you always find the words. You silver-tongued devil. You silver-haired, silver-tongued devil. $5 from Media Mike. Appreciate it. Hi, Ken and Jake. So glad to hear you live for the first time in about a month and a half. Well, welcome back. Where you been? We've been doing this.
Yeah.
We missed you. Lambo Drive a Zambo. FPV Water Echoes, $5. Thank you very much. Gen X FPV, $1. $1, Bob. Anubis Arts, TJ Grady with $10. Thank you very much, TJ. Good to see you. And remember, it's so important, Jake. I can't stress this enough. Pickles.
What more could you say?
You can't. Really, that says it all.
It does.
It sounds like a non sequitur, but really, when you think about it, aren't we all pickles? Yeah. Aiken Drone Flyer 803, $3. And super sticker, thank you very much. Northside Hawk, $5. I believe that's an Aussie $5. So it's like, it's worth a little bit more, I think, isn't it? The exchange rate? Thank you very much. What time are you going to finish as I'm going live after you finish? Oh, it won't be too much longer because I have to wrap this up soon. And we have to talk to Ryan LaTourette right after this. And I got a few cool videos too. Leonard has gifted 5 memberships. That is fantastic. Oh my God, I love seeing that. And when that happens, when you gift a membership, YouTube will dole them out to deserving people in the stream. So if you suddenly find yourself with a membership and a cool little heron bird, and you want to keep it, then continue your membership because it will run out after a certain amount of time. 11 new members tonight. Josh Hawk, $50. Am I seeing that right, Jake? Josh Hawk, $50. Food for the car.
You are seeing that correct, sir.
Hot. That's like a tank. That's a tank full. And I thank you very much. That is awesome. Josh Hawk, thank you, buddy. 420 from Joe Fodolio. I'll see Joe in Florida, I believe. They're all down there. They're all like probably sitting in some lounge somewhere watching either on their phones or the big screen. Looking forward to meeting everyone this weekend. What's that, Jake?
I wish I could go down there.
You can, man. Come on. How long of a drive is it from... Find out on your computer how long it would take you to drive to South Florida. And we'll find out in just a minute.
Where exactly in Florida?
It's right over down there, around there like that. I'll tell you, in fact. Here it is. 3rd Annual South Florida Drone Meetup. It will be at Jensen Beach. Jensen Beach. So find out where that is. And let me know how long of a drive that would be. I'm sure it's like 3 days or something.
It's longer than that.
Paul Slathog, thank you so much. Is that how you say it? Slathog. 5 gifts. Gifted. Am I saying it right? How long is it, Jake? How long of a drive? How long?
78 hours.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's ever done it? Truckers,
probably.
Maybe. Yeah, probably, yeah. Wow, thank you, Paul, for gifting those memberships. Now we have 12 new members. That really helps the channel. Zeb Meat. Hey, good to see you in here, buddy. Zeb Meat, $10. $9.99. This will get you 36 miles down the road, no doubt. Sometimes when I'm getting it, when I'm speeding a little bit, I can actually see the petrol meter going down. Ben Yorkshire, Drone Flyer, new member. Welcome to the Heron Birds. Thank you very much. 5-pounder from Shutter Speed Island. Thank you very much. Don't listen to that Jake lad. He knows nothing about drones. Oh, my goodness. Nothing. He knows everything.
Not a single thing.
Eddie Henrod. Henrod. Right. My apologies. Eddie's the one who let me crash his Skydio. So, of course, I need to be able to pronounce his name. $8.99. Thank you very much, my friend. For some gasoline, he says. And, oh my goodness, so just a few here. New member, Jeremy Adams. Welcome to the Heron Birds. Jim Pierce Jr., $10. And a thank you. And I thank you right back. And Andrew K. has been a member for 8 months. Drive safe and fly high. Thank you, everyone, for that. All right. I'm going to show one video, and then we're going to bring in Ryan LaTourette. Let's see. How about if I show this video from Johnny X? Have you messed with AI at all, Jake?
A little bit.
In what way? What are you using AI for?
Mostly I've been using it to write mindless stuff about things that I don't want to sit and write about.
Right. That's what it's good for. That's what it's good for right now. But
I'm pretty sure whenever AI takes over the world, it's going to come kill me because it's going to be like, why did you make me write that stuff?
Yeah, right. When they become self-aware. So this is from Johnny X. He says, hey, Ken, I've been experimenting with the new AI graphics manipulation models such as Stable Diffusion and started trying to add some AI design into the FPV footage I have. Here's a demo of a render with some wicked moves and inspiring, hopefully, some other artists out there. Cheers, Johnny X. So here is FPV with some AI diffusion. I don't even know what to expect with this. Okay. It looks a little weird. Oh, I'm tripping, man. Look at that. That was wacky. Oh. I think I like AI diffusion.
That is very interesting.
Wow, that is trippy.
Can you imagine if you did that in your goggles in real time?
Oh my God, that'll happen one day. Wow, that's truly amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Sorry, anybody having a acid flashback. That was wild. Thank you very much
for
for
a
sending
second
that in.
there. I was wondering what I'd put in my water bottle, but you know.
Yeah, better check on that. All right. Let's go ahead and bring in.
Yeah, we're good.
We got you. Okay, it's just water. It's not anything Jeff Sills would drink. All right, good. All right, good. So you got another joke for us while I bring in Ryan?
Yes. What do you call someone with no body and no nose?
What do you call someone with no body and no nose? I don't know what.
Nobody knows.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, so we're standing by for Ryan.
All right, I'll give another one here while we're standing by.
He goes right there.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, hey, there he is.
All right.
Oh, thank you. You saved us from another Jake joke. Appreciate it.
Close.
Yeah. How you doing, bud?
I'm always glad to do that.
You doing all right? Have you been watching this cluster?
I missed most of the show. Unfortunately, I've been writing some materials for bills.
Oh, okay. Bills like the water bill or bills like law?
Legislative bills.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get right into it. For those who don't know, tell people who you are and why they should care.
Well, I hope they care. Yeah. So my name is Ryan LaTourette, and I am the Director of Regulatory Affairs for the Great Lakes Drone Company. I'm also one of the founding members of the Michigan Coalition of Drone Operators. And I happen to take a great interest in the legalities of drone regulations, especially at the state and local levels. And so I try to fight the good fight. Keep local legislators away from drones such that we can fly freely and follow the advice of the FAA to not have a patchwork quilt of regulation that endangers the national airspace.
Right, because things
start... It's important, right?
Yeah, people, they start this stuff at the state level, other states adopt it, and then before you know it, it's a domino effect if it's bad. You know, like if something happened like, that was good, like shielded operations. I mean, that's fine. That can domino. But there's a link to his stuff where you can support him supporting us in the description of this video. And let's just go ahead and get right into it. What's the big doings in the drone legal world right now, sir?
Yeah, so probably the biggest one right now is Iowa. Iowa put forward a bill that they wanted to have aerial trespass. Now, we've seen this time and time again. It's been a while since we last saw the Uniform Law Committee, the ULC, put forward some language, and they fought over it for years of trying to create something that would say you cannot fly over a property without permission. Well, Iowa legislature decided, hey, we're going to do that, and we want to expand that to our farms, right? Particularly, they were interested in saying hey, we've got cattle on the yard. We do not want some PETA folks coming along and taking pictures or video of them, especially after it's just rained and now the animals look all muddy and what have you.
Right. They don't want pictures of our puppy mills or things like that. Yeah.
So their solution to that was to say, hey, let's disallow people from flying over a property, and not just over a property, but also 400 feet around that property. So it's kind of interesting, right? That I could be in my own yard, flying on my property line and be in violation of this new regulation.
Right.
So yeah, it's very interesting. I will tell you, in just the last week, we've seen some movement. There's been some lobbying going on with the initial author of the bill, who was receptive to a lot of the things that we suggested. And so we're seeing some amendments start to take place. We got to see where it goes from here, though. I'm not totally confident yet. The amendments that I've seen put through are not suggesting that they are giving up on the idea that they have jurisdiction over airspace.
Right. And where did they get that 400-foot thing? It's not arbitrary.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. They just said, hey, we'd want to have 400 feet around this property. And so you make this, I don't know, it's, barrier wall into the sky, 400 feet at the edge of your farm, trying to kind of push you out such that you can't get a view in. Well, to me, you got the Mavic 3 out there with zoom capability, I don't care if I'm a quarter mile away. I can see onto your property.
Yeah, there's a way
fine.
around everything. And Jake, in Alaska, where people have such large parcels of property, how would that work out up there?
Well, the problem here is all the small aircraft that are all flying 100 feet above the ground and ripping around, and helicopters that are running around here is like they're everywhere. And
they're flying over people's property. Same thing.
And they're all lower than 400 feet. And that is just, it's just the way it is up here because, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. There's a whole lot of things up here that even the FAA goes, this is the rule. Well, except for Alaska, because Alaska is so far north, you can't apply that rule. There are a lot of things that way that the FAA basically had to go, these are the rules, except for Alaska, because Alaska just doesn't fit into any of these categories. And we've run into that with drones a few times as well, where it's just like, well, even the original proposal for remote ID was like, well, you have to connect to a network. And a whole bunch of us were like, whoa, hold it.
Yeah.
Most of our state doesn't have a network. Like 98% of the state of Alaska doesn't have a network connection. So no, and I know there's vast swaths of the Midwest that don't have good network connection too. It's like, come on, guys, this is stupid. And
yeah. How does this stuff come about, Ryan? And why does anybody think any of it's a good idea? Is it a bunch of property owners that just, think
we are in the age of the Karen, right?
Yeah.
That's what I can think of. More and more people think, oh, you shouldn't be able to do that. I don't want that done over my place, so that means we're going to ban it for everybody.
Yeah.
I shake my head, right?
Yep. Yeah. So how is that? How is Iowa right now? How is it left? Where are they in this process? What can we do about it?
So right now it's in committee. In fact, the Senate just pushed it back to the committee as unfinished business. So there's still work to go on amendments. I should tell you too, they have a bicameral legislature, which means they have a House and they have a Senate.
Yeah.
So the bills are going through both sides. And if it was to pass in one and not pass in the other, it's dead. No worries. If it's to pass in both and it has different language, it's still got to go through a reconciliation process before it even has a chance to get to be law. So we're down the road a ways, but we still got a long way ahead.
But there's
so I'm encouraged that we can still keep talking.
But there's other states that have heard the words aerial trespass and said, oh, that sounds tasty. Give me some of that. Let me have some of that aerial trespass. Like maybe, was it Mississippi?
Mississippi is one that they're contemplating. Now, Mississippi was one that also was contemplating preemption. And that I should explain that preemption is where the state passes a law that says only the state gets to make any laws about drones. Any local governments, counties, cities, townships, villages don't get to make laws or even enforce laws. So Mississippi has gone that route, which is great news, right? We have a bill in New York right now doing that same thing. Great news. But the chatter of West Virginia, Mississippi saying, hey, we want to put in place aerial trespass, that's problematic, right? They aren't recognizing, first and foremost, that only the FAA has the sole authority over airspace.
Right.
That's really key.
Right. And it seems like these local municipalities don't familiarize themselves with the current laws that protect people. Like just trespassing laws themselves or being creepy. There's towns that have being creepy laws already. Why is it that they think they have to double up on this for the sake of drones?
Yeah, and that's what we try to educate them is that, number one, if you're trying to create an ordinance to mimic the FAA, then you're going to be revisiting that ordinance over and over again because the FAA is changing the regulations. Yeah. So why try to mimic it when you're just pointing above? Just point above anyway. You also get the other idea that, well, we want to be in advance of the FAA because the FAA is going too slow on this stuff. Well, it's not your place, right? So if you have concerns, float them up to the federal government, float them up and see what happens, right? You have a lobbying force, probably greater than what even, you and I have as private citizens, but they're not taking those steps.
Yeah, and right now in particular, when it's starting to warm up and people are thinking about vacations and they go to all these cities where tourists congregate, oh no, here come the tourists. They're going to bring drones. We got to have something in place before they get here. Let's go to Kinko's, print up a bunch of signs, right? Yeah. And what was going on in, can we mention, was it Wildwood, New Jersey? Something's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think if it's Westwood or Wildwood, New Jersey.
It was Wildwood.
One that they've set forward the idea that drones cannot be flown, and their ordinance is saying cannot be flown over a beach, right? Well, we already know that over is not going to cut it here. But then they've gone through the idea of you can't launch, you can't land within the city property. So that gets into their land use jurisdiction. Now, the fortunate piece there, New Jersey has a state preemption clause that says no local government can create or enforce drone ordinances. The problem here is with New Jersey, it limits that to commercial drone operators. So 107, go ahead, right? Recreational? No. Well, what I'm trying to educate them on is the fact that you're not going to be able to tell as a police officer coming up on that situation whether that's a legal operation or not. And you can't kind of say, hey, bring it down and let's talk about this, right? Because now you're interrupting the pilot, which is against federal regulation.
That's right.
I think the bigger one right now is Panama. What is it? Panama Beach City, Florida. Same difference. They do not yet have an ordinance, but they've gone through the first reading, which is an aerial trespass ordinance as well. And Florida is another state that has a state preemption law in place. So here they've thumbed their nose at the state law, said we're going to put in our own anyway. And we've had multiple communications with them to say, here's why you can't do this. You're asking for legal trouble if you do. I think their attorney is kind of buckling at this point. I won't say buckling, but at least being more receptive to, hey, I really need to get an understanding of aviation rules.
Yeah.
We'll see where that goes.
And by the way, Jake, are you? Can you see the chat where you are? Can you see it? Okay. Let me know if there's any questions. If you guys have any questions, Jake will keep an eye on that. This all sounds. Yeah. Is there any questions in there?
We did have one from from Machine Gun Droner asking about the new legislation, any new legislation for Texas, since Texas's current law was ruled unconstitutional.
No. That's an interesting one, that and that was one that's written much like what the Iowa one is. Iowa's saying you can't take a picture of the farm, right? Whereas Texas was saying the same thing. You can't take a picture of the lake or whatever. What I should back up to say, the reason that the Texas law went into place originally was a journalist went out, took a shot of a landscape and saw, here's a lake, and the lake was bright pink or red. And they went, wait a minute, what's going on there? Well, it happened to be a pig slaughter farm. Right?
Oh, dear.
So here's this lake that's not water.
Oh, God.
And of course, they published that, and immediately the pig farmers went over to the state legislature. Hey, we got to cut this out, right? We don't want this to get out. And so that's what took place. Well, the National Press Photographers Association sued and said protection of First Amendment, as well as you don't have any jurisdiction over the airspace. And so they won that case. It took years, literal years.
And how many dollars? How many dollars? Right? Yeah, that's the thing. It takes time and money to fight something you shouldn't have to fight to begin with. Yeah. This all sounds so dire. Do you have any good news for us? Please make something up. If you don't, let's see. Make something up.
No, we do have good news in that. I'll go back to the state of Michigan, right? That here in the state, we have been at the forefront of fighting the good fight and winning in court. And the last was that we had taken Ottawa County to court with a preemption clause and won. Ottawa County then appealed that case. They didn't like the decision. Too bad. It went to the Court of Appeals, and we got a favorable decision there. When that took place, it instantly became statewide precedent because the Court of Appeals has that across the state.
Right.
So now with that in place, we were able to take that decision and go shopping around to other communities that had their drone ordinances in place and said, this is statewide precedent. The Court of Appeals has decided. Do you want to contest the Court of Appeals? And everybody, save one, has said yes. So they said no, sorry. So they've all dropped their ordinances. We have another one to go, and they're on tap.
Okay. Now, you know what? I've been talking to you about this kind of thing for a while, and I can tell. That you kind of like it. There's a lot of defeats, but when you get those victories, it's like, yeah, I can see it in your face when you talk about, yeah, we won. So yeah, that's good. We need more people like you, and we need people to support you. And you watching, you can do this by going to the link in the description. Where does that link take people?
Yeah, so I'll tell you the two ways. So the first way is obviously we do need the help. We're looking for monetary resources for our legal defense fund because we are fighting these things time and time again. So that money has gone forward for that Ottawa County case. We got a case coming up with Mackinac City that's going to happen as well. So we do need those dollars. The other way to help, right, is, hey, you're in a state that has a preemption clause already. There's 17 states with a preemption clause. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Florida, right? There are cities there that are saying, sorry, you can't fly drones. It's time to get together with your local community of drone operators to band together and say, you know what? Together we've got enough that we can hire an attorney, put together a case, go after those local governments, right?
Yeah.
I'm here to help. I'm writing letters. I'm trying to educate the elected officials. We're trying to change it that way. But there are a time or two where it's probably going to take going to court and asking for an injunction. And if you're consulting with me, I'll probably be able to tell you, I think you can win this one, or let's shy away from that one and go chase this city instead.
Right.
But Yeah, if you're seeing those, raise your hand, shout. I think I've given you my contact information. Blast it out and let me know, and we're gonna take them on.
Yeah. How would someone find out if there's a preemption in their state?
There's a number of different places. I usually keep a document list of all the drone laws.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But you can find out. People can find out whether or not that exists in their state. But I mean, it doesn't mean you shouldn't fight anyway.
Go out to UAV Coach. I'll just give that one out there. So if you go out to UAV Coach, it'll talk about the drone laws in your state. You can click on your particular state, and it will tell you, the bills that have passed that are dealing with drones. So, for instance, if I go to UAV Coach, it'll say Drone Laws Michigan. I can then see it says right away, prohibits local governments from regulating UAS. Bingo. That's our preemption.
Okay. And just very quickly, a couple other things that we probably need to talk about is the stuff that's happening on campuses.
Campuses are a big one. So most universities across the United States are making prohibitions on drones. They have created some, exception criteria where you can go to the police department, the campus police, and get an approval. Of course, they're not giving that approval, right? Instead, they're saying, "Oh no, you can't fly here." In a lot of cases,
are they treating it like Are they treating it like a state park since it's a state? A lot of them are state schools. Is that where they're going with this?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of that same deal.
All right.
And we've had places where there's been legal flight and you've still been arrested. Great example is Ohio State. Everybody wants to see what the Ohio State Stadium looks like from the air. So a pilot went out and did that on game day. And some of you are probably going, "Oh, that's a TFR. You can't do that." That's exactly what the police did. They said, "Oh, it's game day. That's a TFR." And so they arrested him. He was flying there 10 hours before the game. Well, the TFR is only in place 1 hour before until 1 hour after. So perfectly legitimate flight, except that he didn't have his trust cert or register his drone. A little problem there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a perfectly legal flight. And yet the police took that and said, "You're flying on game day. You can't do that. Anywhere around the stadium's a TFR." It's not. So there's a lot more education to do there. And unfortunately, there's a lot of assumption by law enforcement who've been trained differently.
I think we have a question from Jim Pierce Jr. Do you see that, Jake? A question for Ryan.
Do you remember what St. Charles Parish tried to do when saying drone flying was not allowed anywhere near the parish? He informed them about the law and called you as well.
James Benson. Yeah. So the James Benson case went to court. He was convicted and sentenced. It was appealed. In terms of the appeal, my understanding is we are still waiting on the paperwork. It's gone through the state attorney general's office. There's been a lot of balls dropped. There's been a lot of, I guess it's elbows politics, right? Somebody knows somebody and rubbing elbows. So I think that one's still a ways away to a final resolution. But I think there was recognition that the judge ruled incorrectly. There was no surveillance in that particular case, and that was the linchpin to the clause that they were convicting him on. So without surveillance, there was nothing for him to be charged with.
Right. A lot of these things seem like they're trying to wear people down. They know it takes time. They know it takes money and passion to see these things through to the bitter end. And most people just give up or not, capitulate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it takes certain bravery to go against the regulations, right? That if your local town says, "Hey, we're going to throw a $2,000 fine at you if you fly," then you got to go, is it worth it for me to fly? And potentially I'm out $2,000 plus a lawyer, plus whatever time in court. and so they chase you away, or even putting up signs. I see drone zone signs everywhere.
Yeah,
well, it's not legal, but hey, they put it up anyway.
And it's on
do
the
I want
onus,
to have that fight?
Yeah, the onus is on you to fight it. I would advise people, and I think you guys would both agree, always do what the police say, even if you know it's wrong.
I would advise that, and that's not what I do.
Well, I mean, in the moment, sometimes it's hard to do that, but they got.
Yeah, it's easier to say, okay, I'm bringing it down, and then chase that with them on the ground later on. 2 days later.
Right. Are there any more questions that I see?
The couple run-ins I've had with the police, they've come up, what are you doing? Who are you? Kind of thing. And I say, like, let me get the drone back on the ground. And I'll be happy to show you my paperwork and my license and everything else, and show you that what I'm doing is legal and allowed or whatever. And all of them have been nice. One of them was not well informed and had to get a supervisor, who then the supervisor told him that he wasn't well informed.
Yeah.
Away from me, so it didn't like.
Nobody likes to find out that they're not well informed. That's not
now,
good
Ken,
on the old ego.
I've got one that I didn't tell you about yet.
Yeah. What is it?
This just hit me today, just before this call.
Okay.
I was informed that Toms River, New Jersey, has a sheriff's department there, who's taken 2 drones. They really like them. They've set up a whole shop of them. But they've also taken to counter UAS, and they've gone out and had fun with this and illegally taken down a couple of people's drones.
Oh no!
Fully admitting it in the newspaper, in public forum, right? That, hey, we have this, we are using it, and they even specified, they were asked, is this legal? Not really.
Is that stuff regulated yet? The counter stuff?
Oh, well, yeah. So there's 3 different FCC regulations that make it illegal, as well as the 18 USC 32 from the FAA.
Right. I mean, it's basically coming up behind a drone pilot and,
Federal offense. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, interfering with a drone pilot is a federal offense. Shooting at a drone is a federal offense. Has anybody been punished, publicly?
One person.
One person.
One.
It's so rare.
And that was because they shot down a police
That's
drone.
that's the guy. Yeah. That's
yeah.
Guy. Yeah. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
But it sets a precedent, right?
Right. That's what we need. And everybody watching this, and I encourage everybody to be good ambassadors of our hobby. Everybody watching this, we are in our own little group, our own little echo chamber right now, because we're like, this sucks, this is good, drones are awesome, right? But all the stuff that we know, even in passing, even if you're new to this and been watching a few of my videos and other channels, you know more than the general public. The general public only sees what they see. Their little cousin Larry goes to Walmart, gets a drone, flies it, crashes it. They see the military drones. They don't know much about this stuff. So getting the message out beyond our little circle jerk of drone appreciators is very important. And I'm endeavoring to do that. Joshua Barwell and I have started this campaign to do just that, and to get beyond our little group here and let the general public in on the awesomeness that is drones. And as far as legalities go, hopefully we can have you chipping away. Do you have any, buddy? Is there anybody else fighting the fight like you are? Do you have any compadres out there that you talk about this stuff with, or are you the only one?
I can say that, Vic Moss obviously is a guy as well, doing the same thing. I know he's doing it as a business, right? So there's pay involved in there, I suspect. But in terms of, just the coalition, right? We have a number of folks in Michigan that have really put together a pact, and they're doing that. There's a couple of people down in Illinois that are really putting together things there. So I see pockets of help, and when I need, I can reach out and
Good.
Hey, we've got this. Can you do something with it? So
good.
Yeah.
Good. And the money helps. So there's a link in the script because you never spend any of your own money on this. I know.
There's that's a big Jake joke, right?
That's a Jake joke. Yeah. Awesome. Ryan LaTourette, thank you so much, as always, for being in our corner. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
And we'll have you back on again very soon. Very soon.
All right.
Thanks, sir. Talk to you later. All right. Jake, your thoughts on all that? That's some good stuff.
Man,
right
all
there.
I gotta say is that we need more people like Ryan, and we need people to support Ryan because what he's doing. I don't think a lot of people realize that the stuff he's doing does set a precedent that then other places in the United States can look at and go and point to, and it really does help when it comes down to court cases or changing the laws. It makes a huge difference, and right now there are very few people that are taking on the battles that Ryan's been taking on. So it's a big deal. I massively appreciate what he's been doing.
Yeah, you couldn't see it, but he is wearing a cape. He is a Superman.
Yes.
Just before it gets too far, and I do look at the chat. There's one from Props Off. Ken, what do I have to do to talk you into attending the International Open 2023 drone racing in Muncie, Indiana? All you have to do is email me here, kenheronupload@gmail.com, and remind me, because I'm old and I forget things. But I'll head on up to Indiana. I love Indiana. And we've got a couple more super chats have come in. Mark H, thank you very much for the $30. Good show, Ken. Here's to the cause. The cause being my RX-8's gas tank. Thank you so much. Patman Dronography has gifted 5 memberships to the channel. That's amazing. We have 17 new members tonight. I love to see that. That is fantastic. Thank you. And John, I know I'm looking over my glasses. John Downen. By the way, I'll just tell you quickly why I'm looking over my glasses. I was filming a video that I will. Yeah, I know. It's an old guy thing. But I was filming a video that it'll drop, as the kids say, tomorrow. And one of the scenes was with the Avata, and I had my glasses sitting on the table, and I took off, and the prop wash blew my new glasses onto the pavement, scratched them all up. So,
oh no!
Yeah, that's and the expletives. Woo! Woo! I recorded all that. So John Downman, $5. Thank you very much. Here's a little help for your trip. Look Mama Drone has been a member for 18 months. Bubba Army, thank you very much. And now let's get into the rest of the videos. Jake, you doing all right?
I'm doing good.
You do? Okay, good. I wanted to share something with you. I recently went to South Carolina, and many of you might have seen the video where we went into the TV station and I put the FPV goggles on the weatherman. Well, the weatherman is a guy named Tyler Ryan, and he and I have been friends for many years. In fact, we did a morning show together on the radio in Columbia, South Carolina together, and I hadn't seen him in like 10 years or something. And so what this video is some outtakes that Joshua Bardwell filmed as we went into the TV studio. So this is me and Tyler, and Joshua is on the camera. So enjoy this.
Because I shrank after I broke my back.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, I knew that. I don't know what you guys want.
Did you get shorter after you broke your back?
I did.
Oh, man. My girlfriend's an inch taller than me.
Conference room? Oh, you gotta just blow her up a little more.
Yeah, that's right. There's the gold. We can't recreate that.
Blow her up a little.
Right there.
Just let a little air out of her. You're fine.
Oh, man. So you do weather?
I do weather, yes. I'm the morning meteorologist.
Are you a meteorologist or just a weatherman?
Meteorologist, baby. Come on.
Did you have to go to meteorology school?
Well, that's kind of part of what we do.
What's different about the morning meteorologists compared to like the evening meteorologists?
Not a lot. He's doing weather, but the difference is in the morning show, it's a lot more personality driven. I mean, the information's the same, but I do a lot more. So I host and I do interviews and play games and.
Right. So it's like weather and opinion. Like
correct.
The weather guys say it's going to rain, but I believe it's not.
You say it's going to rain and it sucks.
Yes. This is the kitchen. Look, it's like retro. We're ready to go back into 1955.
He loves being on camera, can you tell? He has no idea what FPV drones can do, so
I'd like to get him on his newsy video, his honest reaction to a maneuver.
Is it going to blow my mind?
Does that mean?
It will. Like camera, me and him. You've seen drones, but have you
ever seen drones do this?
Yeah. And then don't say what, we'll just scare him a little bit.
Okay.
You can't be the king of television and not have a single throne.
Have you ever used the ladies' room?
Yeah, excuse me.
Oh, that is the ladies' room.
It's like the engineer nerd tech room.
Well, this kind of looks like your place, Bardwell.
Yeah, pretty much.
The drones that we're going to show you,
Yeah.
the crazy ones, he builds them.
No kidding.
Yeah, from scratch with carbon fiber and parts, and he actually makes his own parts to sell.
Nice.
He's kind of a big deal.
By
Here,
hand.
Let me just show you this. Is
he a big deal?
He's kind of a big deal.
Well, I can't
Let me get
see.
you and him in there.
Oh.
Yeah. See? I mean, did you think that you'd be standing next to the Joshua Bardwell?
I never thought it. I never thought it possible.
I never thought I would be standing next to. What's your name again?
Nice douche move, Bardwell. Joshua, you're the know-it-all in FPV. I was wondering if I could get your advice.
Oh my God.
Is this today's weather?
Yeah, it's live right now. I can fire it up. Hang on.
Oh.
He's got a clicker.
I do have a clicker.
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
put that down. That's an instrument.
Walk away from the clicker.
Can I want to see you do the weather? Can you do the weather?
Sorry. Here you go.
Oh, I don't think I can.
Oh, I bet you can.
Which button is this? Is this the next
button.
item?
That's that right.
What are we going to next?
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right. So here you see some blown out video where it's starting to pixelate. You get a lot of noise.
No, Ken, the weather, not the video, Ken. The weather.
We got about a 50% chance of something shitty coming up next.
Oh,
Yeah.
Atlanta. Gee, ugh.
Don't look at that.
Nashville. Gee, Cincinnati.
And
Ugh.
then, here's the next thing I'm pushing, and then this would be numbers. I think these are high school football scores. Yeah, that was a fun day. That was a really fun day. Jake, you all right?
I didn't realize Joshua Bardwell was that fast on his feet as far as being witty. That was pretty cool.
Joshua Bardwell's channel, as you know, it's very informational and very structured, but he is hilarious. He is funny. And yeah, I have another video. We flew drones in a dead mall, and I'll post that next week.
Yeah, I saw you post something about that maybe on Instagram or something, and I was like, dang it, Ken. Argh.
Yeah, it's a really good space. There's a video on Josh's channel right now about that. You can see it, but my version I'll post in a few days. One more thing from South Carolina. I did get permission to fly over the Capitol building. What I wanted to do was the same thing I did with the Kentucky Capitol, but I didn't have a senator friend. You know, Whitney Westerfield is a drone guy and my buddy. So he's like, yeah, come on, you can film inside the Kentucky Capitol, no problem. Well, I didn't have that luxury. And so I had to fill out paperwork and PDFs and call people. I talked to a captain, but we couldn't film inside just yet. So that we did get permission to film the outside. And because we were playing around with Tyler at the TV station for so long, we went late in the day and there was rain. Anyway, we flew for about 5 minutes. And here's a little bit of that. Enjoy this. We're at the State House in Columbia, South Carolina, and we're going to fly some drones. I did have to go through some hoops to get permission to do this. And, of course, we coordinated with law enforcement, right?
Yes, sir.
We're all good to go?
You're good to go.
We're responsible adults?
You are.
All right, very good. And
that's the first time anyone called Ken a responsible adult.
So there were some people, this is just during the day. So there's people walking around. This is the O3 air unit, in case you're wondering. And I did stabilize it a little bit. So we didn't get crazy, Jake. We didn't rip the place like we wanted to, but we got a little bit of a video when the sun came out. Would they let you fly around the Capitol building up there in Alaska?
No.
No?
It's our Capitol building doesn't look that nice.
Oh.
It's just a building in Juneau, a big square building. So there's nothing really cool to fly around, but it's also right in the middle of the city. There's no land around it or anything. So it's like streets and houses and everything. It's just It's not that.
All right. Well, this is
Not
a
that
pretty
great.
building.
That is a cool building.
Are we
the
ripping
dome is-
the state capital of South Carolina?
I don't know if I would say ripping.
We're tearing it a little bit?
We're gently separating it.
We have dog-eared the page. Gently, yes.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We want to rip the Capitol now. We're just kind of floaty. All right. So, in an effort to make this stream a little shorter than usual, let's just get right to the videos right now. I got about 4 of them here. First one is from Rick Williamson, Buckeye Drones. And by the way, you guys can vote for who's going to win the freewellgear.com filters. So I don't decide anymore. I leave it in your hands. So here are the contenders, okay? The first contender is Rick Williamson. And this is Colorado. You've been to Colorado, haven't you, Jake?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place.
It is. I'm always out of breath because everything there feels high, but, you know.
Oh, right, the altitude, yeah.
Also, everything there is high.
And
Everybody there is high.
Everybody is high in Colorado. That is true.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not...
but it is a beautiful place. It is amazing landscape.
Oh, it's more amazing if you're stoned, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Then it looks like that video you played earlier. Everything's just like moving and changing.
Yeah,
and
the colors. I don't think that's how marijuana works. I don't think. I've been told.
I think that was more the acid.
Yeah,
right?
that was probably acid. Yeah, but sorry, pot smokers. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. Look at that house. Wow. I mean, this is like Alaska. You just point the camera anywhere, and it's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it's this Nat Geo everywhere you look.
Yeah. Wow, that was really, really nice. Thank you very much for sending that in, Rick Williamson. If you want to share a video next week, you can send it here, kenheronupload@gmail.com. Let me know what music you're using. If I can play it on my channel without getting my wrist slapped by YouTube. If you want to have some really good music to use, go to epidemicsound.com. Free trial links in the description. You can check out all their sound effects and music for 30 days for free. And everything else is crap. There you go. One day they will adopt that as their slogan.
That'll be their official slogan.
Yeah. So that was Colorado. And so this next one is very short, but it's from Junk Pick, a.k.a. Mike, and his nutty, crazy, I think she's 16-year-old daughter, Sarah. Did you meet her?
No.
You need to come to Minefield. Are you coming to Minefield?
I would like to. I can't say for sure, but if I'm in the area, I definitely will.
I think it's only a 67-hour drive from where you are.
Yeah, 68 with nothing. Traffic.
Yeah, so that'll be
the moose, the moose that crossed the road between here and Canada, and I got to slow down for him.
Does anybody ride moose? And the plural of moose is moose, right? All right.
Yes.
Mises. Does anybody ride moose like a horse? Can they put a saddle?
No. So unfortunately, we made that illegal a few years back.
Wait, somebody was doing it
before then.
No.
Yes.
Get the hell out of it.
Before then, people literally trained moose like horses to pull their wagons into Anchorage and to ride. How epic would it be to ride into town on a moose like the freaking Elf King of old with a huge rack on it? And they literally, you can look up pictures and they used to do that. I think they still do it in Canada and maybe somewhere in Siberia.
But they did that.
In the United States, it's not legal.
They made moose beasts of burden. So now you can't do that?
Can't do that now.
There's pictures. As soon as this stream is over, I am Googling.
Ever since I found out about it, all I could think of was like, I want to ride into town on a huge bull moose with a freaking 8-foot wide rack.
How do you?
So epic.
How do you break a moose? Like, because you have to break them, right? Like a horse.
Well, they're different than horses, but I think pretty much the way they did it was they got them very, very young and worked with them from the time they were extremely young.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
that's insane,
right?
Wow. Thanks that's some new information. Thanks, man. Anyway, Minefield, come on to Minefield, via plane, moose, whatever. That's Saturday, August 19th.
I'll ride my moose. I'll ride my moose into town.
Yeah. Okay. So the next video is from Junk Pick. He says, "Hey Ken, my wife was asking me if we plan on going to Minefield 4.0 this summer, and I was like, well, we went last year. Then last night I was going through a bunch of unused footage of Minefield 3.0, and it's making me want to go again. Here's a quick, cool clip for you. Here it is. And there's no sound. There's Sarah, and there's Mike. And there's what it was like last year. So we're going to have some fun this year. Minefield 4.0. Thank you. So that's
Minefield 4.0.
Yeah, so that's the second video. You remember you're voting for this, okay? Here's another short one. And even though this isn't his video, I'm going to include it. All right? This is from Smeghead. This is crazy, actually. And, I don't think he would mind me reminding everybody that Andy, L. Smeghead, he's, hey, are you kidding? There's the mooses. The meese. You are that is freaking awesome.
Right? How awesome would that be?
Great. I mean, and, if you're behind there, their poopers are up a little bit higher than the horses, so that's a long drop.
But they only put out little beads, little pellets about that big, so
that's even better than a horse.
Oh yeah,
little beads.
Way better.
Wow. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, El Smeghead. So he's been known to imbibe. He's a drinker, and I suspect when he sent this to me, he might have been in the throes of a brew. He says, "Haha, the bird is the drone. Check out this burb, B-I-R-B." So enjoy this. The burbs are evolving.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, 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 bird is a word. Well, bird, 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 bird's a well, well, bird, 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 bird is a word.
Why? Why?
Bird's a well, well, bird, 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 well, bird is a word, well, bird.
So it's a fake bird and it poops on cars.
Don't you know
what are they doing?
Well, everybody's talking about the bird, oh, well, bird, bird's a well, well.
So there you go. There's all right. That's the third one. Interesting. Somebody 3D printed a. All right. And the last one. This is from Leonard Oglesby. He said, "I thought you would like this drone flight from the California Department of Water." Again, not his video, but he did send this to me, and it's the California Department of Water, so I can show it. Showing us that after 3 years of doubt, we now have too much water. This is the Oroville Dam spillway. This is from Leonard Oglesby. Check this out. This is pretty cool. I'm glad they're getting water, right? Too much water, not enough water. This is some...
Yeah, so I really wonder, like, are they going to be in a drought again, like 3 weeks after it stops raining, or...
I don't know how that works. I think it's the water table that is low, maybe. This is just surface water or something? I don't know.
They don't have a way to... Obviously, they don't have a way to store all of the water that they're getting, which is unfortunate because they've got, like, whatever, 800% more snowpack than they've ever gotten in the mountains. And
right. Yeah, is what's that river out there that goes through the Grand Canyon? That's still low, isn't it?
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Different parts of the state get more water, and that looks like it would be fun to ride down until you get to the end there where it would just demolish you, right? It looks like a giant...
It'd be so much fun right up until the very last minute there.
Right, doesn't it? Doesn't it, though? It looks like it'd be a lot of fun until it isn't. Right. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So, now we get to vote. And Jake will pick who's the winner. You'll just... I have to eyeball it. So, Is it Colorado, minefield, the burbs are evolving, or too much water? And the winner will get filters from freewellgear.com. Do check them out. All right. So
wait to see. People got to vote.
Yeah. Well, we have a little bit of a lag going on
here. Go back to my pictures of people riding moose.
Yeah, let's see the Mises. How come they're not called Mises? Moose.
You know, I don't know.
They should be Mises, right?
Moose-eye, moosies.
Moosies. I like that. Moosies.
Moosies.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
Uh-huh. That is amazing. How long ago was that outlawed?
I think they outlawed it back in like the 30s or the 40s. It's been a while.
Huh. Well.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
So do you agree with the law, or do you think we should still be moosing it up?
Well, I mean, I think from a practical standpoint, it's actually a great idea because they can walk through the snow really easy because their legs are huge.
Yeah.
They already live up here, so they already can survive. Like people that have horses up here have to bring in so much hay and feed to keep them alive through the winter because they don't, where the moose will eat little sticks and whatever else is around. But
it's like domesticating camels in other parts of the world. Yeah. Have you ever eaten? Have you ever eaten a moose? Have you ever eaten a moose? Do people eat? You've had moose meat?
Oh yeah.
What's it taste like?
A lot. It tastes like the most lean, better tasting beef that you've ever had.
Okay.
It doesn't taste like beef, but it tastes, I don't know, like, I guess it probably tastes a little bit more like deer venison.
Okay.
But it has almost no fat in it at all. Like you cannot make a hamburger with it unless you add a lot of pork fat to it because it will not stay together at all. There's almost no fat in it at all. So it's very good. I like it a lot.
Okay. If I ever come up there, I want some some moose turkey. By the way, I think Colorado is the winner. I think, right? Would you agree with that, Jake?
Colorado is winning. Yeah.
All right. So congratulations to Rick Williamson. You got the Freewell Gear filters. And while we're talking about sponsors, why don't we talk about RemotePilot101.com? RemotePilot101.com. If you want to make money legally with your drone and you want to see a tan Adonis giving you the lessons, that tan Adonis being Jason Shepard. I'm going to meet him. I'm going to go to Florida.
That lights up that room.
That's right. He's got a smile that's visible for 3 statute miles, as they say. And I'm heading to Florida. And after the meetup, I'm going to go hang out with Jason Shepard. We're going to film some content. It's going to be a lot of fun. So RemotePilot101.com. You know, I don't know if you've noticed this, Jake, but the FAA, they'll try to get tricky on you with the questions. Yeah. So you want to be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's a TFR? What's a METAR? What's a sectional chart? These are all things that you will empower yourself with. The knowledge that you need to be a safe and prosperous drone pilot. RemotePilot101.com. Use Heron18. That's the code. You get 30% off, and you can get the lessons. And you know, once you take your initial test at a CATS testing center, then the retest, it's nothing. I mean, they won't even let you fail. And after that, then you can fly at night, and you have the knowledge. And if any cop ever comes up to you and say, "Well, I know better than you," don't do that. RemotePilot101.com. Love you. Mean it. I'll see you soon, Mr. Shepard. Polish them teefies up. Heron 18, 30% off. All right. Fantastic. So I guess that's
Going back to our earlier discussion. This is why I would be happy to ride a moose in the winter in Alaska. Watch this thing go through the snow. Oh. And you got to remember.
Oh, wow. How deep is that snow? That's like 4 or 5
feet, maybe.
Yeah.
5 feet maybe.
Oh man. Do you?
I mean, come on.
Do you have any video that you can throw up of your the lights, the Northern Lights?
Oh, the Northern Lights?
Yeah, I wasn't able to grab it in time because the Windows update was eating my computer, but I wanted to show everybody.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, I went out and filmed the Northern Lights with the Mavic 3, which was a lot of preparation and work. It took quite a while to get it and to make it work out right. But it took 3 months basically for me to get this the conditions right where I could go out and film the Northern Lights with the Mavic 3, and that's what you're seing here. This is the real-time filming right here.
What did you have to do to the settings to get that?
So I mean, I filmed it 4K and 30 frames a second. But then in night mode too, so it's like 12,800 ISO. And then I also filmed, you lower the shutter speed down to where it's like instead of 1/60, you're doing 1/30 to basically let in that whole extra stop of light. Wow. And then that particular Aurora display was extremely bright and very, very active because we had a huge, it was like a G4 class solar storm that hit the Earth that night. So it was really, really great.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to fast forward just a little bit so you can see the. See if I can find the.
Yeah, I've seen the
Aurora.
There
you can.
Oh, look at
and
that.
that's taken with my real camera, but it's the weirdest thing because I go like I'm very fortunate. I get to live here and I get to see this stuff often. But I kid you not, every time I go see this, it turns me into like a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And I had two friends of mine with me. One of them is a former Special Forces military, and all of us were like 5-year-old kids out there screaming and hooting and hollering and just shouting about how amazing it was because it's amazing every time you see it. It's
to see
really
it
something
in person, and what that is, it's the magnetosphere, right?
Yeah, so what it is the sun, every time the sun has flares, it spits out a bunch of particles that basically would wipe us all out if we didn't have an atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so, but those particles collect around the poles, and then as they interact with our atmosphere, they basically let off certain colors depending on the types of gases that they're interacting with in the atmosphere, and that creates the aurora. So but I mean, I don't know how many times, like in 25 years I've lived here, seeing the aurora, and every single time it's still just like, what in the heck? This is just such an amazing, magical thing. It's really cool.
Hey, I saw it. Yeah. I saw it one time when I lived in Vermont. I saw it one time, and it wasn't that spectacular. But to see it in person on a snowy, clear night, it does change you. It does.
Oh yeah.
Like seeing natural phenomena. I saw a tornado in person. I saw the aurora. Those two things will change you as a person.
It does. Like, it gives you this whole new appreciation and just a sense of awe of the planet that we live on. Is such an incredible place. And there are some things that I mean, I know you can explain it all scientifically, but it still somewhat defies science and logic explanations because it just is a magical thing to see or experience in person.
It really is. And
I don't know how else to say it other than that. It's incredible to see it.
Absolutely. And what a great way to end this live stream with that magic. Thank you so much, Jake, for co-hosting. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Ken. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to be here with everybody.
We hope you enjoyed the show half as much.
Oh! I forgot something. Speaking of an aurora, our very own little aurora here. I forgot. I almost forgot. And I apologize. Look at this. Look at this aurora. It's purple. Now, the aurora is not all this. It could go green, but it won't go green because there's one rule here in the Raz chamber. And what rule is that, sir?
No flatulence in the Raz.
Yes, let's keep this purple aurora Raz, this Raz-rora, purple and clean. But other than that, just sit back and relax and enjoy the magic purple bubbles that is the Raz.
It is magical.
Mark Sullivan, you dirty bird.
Oh, man.
Oh, Mark.
Every time.
Didn't we just say?
Every single time.
We just said it.
Just said it.
Just said it. Don't follow instructions. What is wrong with you, Mark Sullivan? You need to see a doctor, because that is some bad stuff.
They're going to have to change the whole Raz out and everything.
Oh, the filter is
Probably got
shot.
to even change the filters on that
Yeah, forget it. There's not enough chlorine.
We hope you enjoyed the show half as much as you would have if it had been twice as good.
Oh, man, this almost did not come together thanks to Wind Blows 98 and a bunch of other things. We wish Jeff Sills a quick recovery from his hemorrhoid. I'm not supposed to say what it is. I'm just making that up. Thank you very much, Sean Geeksvana, for filling in at a very late hour in London. Surely he's asleep right now. Thank you to Ryan LaTourette for always being on our corner and keeping our community safe and happy and flyable. And Jake, thank you so much for being you handsome devil you. Thanks for co-hosting. Until next time, buh!
And bye.
That's it.
The killer can process meat. Enjoy pigeon jerky, and you'll give your family a treat. It's balanced nutrition to help them grow, and it's full of fiber to make them grow. You'll enjoy pigeon jerky. The killer can process meat.
Yeah. That was so funny.